Yeah. So should we? Let's dig into that. Let's dig into this. The two police officers that are standing there watching someone smoke marijuana in front of them. Happy quarantine, the man greets the cops as he inhales and exhales. And you've got this on. You see it on the screen here. Hopefully, they've got them. On camera. The cops are just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. In the back, they're like,
whatever. It is what it is. So New York adults over the age of 21 can now possess and use marijuana even in public under a legalization bill signed Wednesday by Governor Andrew Cuomo. Though legal sales of recreational use cannabis won't start for an estimated 18 months until regulations are set. Passed after several years of stalled efforts, the measure makes New York the 16th state in the nation to legalize adult use of the drug. Yeah. I'm not going to read anymore, I don't think. Let's talk about it. Martha May doesn't like it. I can already see that on her face.
I'm feeling the energy from Martha May, too.
Yeah. It's like,
I want Martha May to start it because I was sensing it, too.
Let's go, Martha May.
What do you think?
Do it. That's what we're here for. Stop.
I'm
speechless.
And about which part? About that it's been legalized, or about the gentleman that we're smoking in front of the cop?
Both. Obviously, it's nothing I've ever done or plan to do, so I'm not personally a fan of it.
Have you ever bungee jumped?
Yeah, no.
Jumped out of a plane?
No.
There's a couple more things that maybe you could add to the list.
Well, the other thing is I'm extremely allergic to pot or any kind of smell like that. So I was actually a narc in high school. So I could smell other people who were smelling it. I had to go to the bathroom in the nurse's office because of people smoking things in the girls' bathroom. So I was sabotaged a little bit. I was stereotyped because I had to go into the nurse's station to go to the bathroom. That's kind of weird when you're in high school. You know what I mean? You kind of look like the goody two-shoe. Mm-hmm. So
we know that's not the case.
Well, maybe it was.
Was.
Maybe it was. Maybe it is. Yeah.
Well, I think that's interesting. I never heard of anybody having a reaction like that.
Yeah. I went into...
Would you break out in hives? I mean, what were your...
Breathing.
Oh, okay.
Totally asthma related. Yeah, breathing. Like a hyperventilation and everything and stuff. So, yeah, being, deathly allergic to it is something that I cannot associate with, cannot be around, smell, anything like that. I mean, I can tell, I can smell it, then I have to get away from it. So it's like anybody who's allergic to peanut butter, that kind of thing.
Cigarette smoke, is that similar?
Definitely allergic to it. Yeah.
How about edibles?
I
don't know yet.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Tune in for next week's show.
They recently and we have cupcakes or brownies or what is it?
Nothing no. So
not your thing. But what about other people doing it on their own time?
Are you an authoritarian?
I'm gonna jump on this one.
No, I got to dig into this one. Are you an authoritarian?
I'm not judgmental, but it's my decision.
Yeah, okay. But when Craig asked you the question about, other people doing it on their time, you were very silent, and the look on your face was clearly, like disturbed.
It's just something I choose not to do, and I choose to hang around people who don't do it.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, do I judge people who do it? No, but do I prefer not to know or hang around people that do? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I have no problem saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like
so you're an authoritarian?
You want me to say yes, don't you?
No, I don't want you to say yes. I want you to realize that what you're saying is that you're not, but yet you kind of lean towards that. Like you want to tell other people what to do.
No, that's what I do.
And you just have a strong conviction. Right.
Yeah.
And that's good. I do. And I think that, and so what I want to lead to at that point is that I think that that's really important to understand your personal conviction and be able to verbalize that without having to tell other people that they need to have your same conviction.
Right.
Yeah. That's where we're at in society, and so powerful that people think that we meddle, right? And we need to learn, in my opinion, to stop meddling so much with other people. We can talk about it, and we need to talk about it, but to meddle, that meddle piece is like, it's all over the place. To me, honestly, I'll be completely transparent with what I think of Governor Cuomo signing this bill right now at this moment in time.
Right.
This is a sleight of hand. Look over here. Look over here.
Smoke
Look
screen.
over
Literally
here.
a smoke screen.
Yeah, absolutely. So go ahead, Harmony. Or Lisa was, I think she wanted to say
I'm-
something about some marijuana.
No, I totally get Martha May's side of this, because I can honestly say I've never smoked marijuana in my entire life. I have MS. I can get a prescription for legalized because it actually helps the nerves relax with MS. So I do.
We'll talk later. I can't get it. Wait. Sorry, no.
I
I mean,
think there's a lot of
are we still live?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of benefits. I certainly have no problem with anybody doing it. I think there's more friends out there that smoke it than you think, and that's to each their own. If I'm going to have a glass of wine to wind down, you're more than welcome to smoke a joint. I don't care. I don't have a problem with this at all. I think it's going to be out there, and at least it's out in front of everybody instead of doing it behind and doing it illegal. I think it's not going to be long before Minnesota, knowing our governor, will make it legal soon.
I guess what I would like to say is congratulations, New York. I am definitely pro legalization of medicinal and recreational marijuana, and I definitely have my reasons for it. Personal reasons. I've been in the health profession for over 10 years, and I've definitely witnessed and heard stories of anything from toddlers to young children having 100 seizures a day, and with this medicinal marijuana limits them to 10 to 20 seizures a day. Now, if you're familiar with a seizure, even one seizure is terrible. So you can imagine the relief of parents, grandparents, guardians, foster care that take care of these children, and to be able to have something. Also, for constant pain, it's been amazing for people who are dealing with cancer or anything of that nature, and the pain is uncontrollable. And then I have a personal story of, and Martha May, you had mentioned that you don't want to know or would prefer not to be in the presence of one that uses marijuana on a daily basis, but my name's Harmony Sage, and I use marijuana on a daily basis. And I have my reasons for that. I deal with depression. I manage depression, anxiety on a daily basis. Also, I'm, very self-aware that I have a lot of trauma in my past, and with that comes side effects of PTSD, OCD, ADHD, and ADD. I've probably diagnosed myself, but, and I've tried prescription medications, pain pills, everything you can think of, and the chemicals I'm quite sensitive to. So what I have found that has worked personally for me has been marijuana. So I say, yay, congratulations. I get the uncomfortable part. New York, I believe, is going to be the first state that is saying, hey, it's okay to go on the sidewalks and smoke it. Obviously, there's conditions, exceptions. Don't be at 100 feet within a school. And obviously we still have those worries of individuals that are like, oh, this is a gateway drug. If we're doing this, they're just going to want to try other things. We've been talking about this for years, and I can give you all the statistics and the numbers on that of how alcohol is so much more dangerous than marijuana, but that's not what I'm here to do. What I'm here to do today is to share my personal story and encourage you to read up and to talk to other people that have their own personal stories of challenges and what works best for them. To each his own. And so, I love that you said that, Martha May, and I'm the same way, but I think people would be surprised that I am a frequent user. I like that because what my goal is throughout all this is to break stigmas, to break the stereotypes that we look a certain way, we act a certain way. I'm a professional. I'm a single mom of 2 teenagers. I deal with quite a bit every day, so I can still go out and be classy and professional and still know that at the end of the day I need to relax and unwind and manage my mental health.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Thanks for ranting.
Well said.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soapbox, that's
good.
good. That's
You
what
don't
we're here
mind.
to
Sorry
do.
about that, but I
No.
do feel very passionate
Ditto.
about
That's
it.
what we're-
Non-user here.
That's what we're here to do.
Copycat.
Can you tell I've been preparing for this for a few
But
days?
non-user here. So, amen.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
again what I love about this table is that we do have different perspectives, but here we are, we're sharing it and we're getting along and we're being respectful.
Yes, that is exactly what it's about. I cannot even begin to tell you all listening, but you all at the table, the messages that I get, whether it be you're a Republican or conservative or libertarian or whatever you want to label yourself, or Democrat, I get messages all of the time saying, lean into this and do it this way, and you need to you need to come out and say you're Republican. You need to come out and say you're a Democrat. You need to come out and see. That's where I believe everybody gets it wrong. Sure, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I probably would have done that. I would have agreed with that. But look at where all these tribal things that we're trying to like sort through in society right now is insane. And that is why we've been building up this show over weeks. My goal at first, and I talked about this in the podcast a few weeks ago, or right before one, we trust each other. We have needed to build that trust so that we know that there is not disrespect. I've had messages where people say, you all think alike. You all talk alike. And I'm like, wait.
No, we don't.
No.
I'm like, wait. This is a baby show. We are brand new. Wait.
We're
Wait
treading
for
water
it.
and filling each other up.
Yes, we have to build the trust. We have to, and the audience has to trust us and things like that, and so that we can have these conversations and not fight about it. That's not what it's about. This is a platform, and Matt Logan Speaks in itself is a platform to try to just positively show people what it's like to have different controversy, and that's good.
We can still respect each other while we're doing that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know.
And why do we need to be pigeonholed into
Exactly.
a label?
Exactly.
Right.
Why can't you pick the parts that you like from this party and this party and this party and this party? Why can't we broaden our horizons? And
Exactly, and broadening the horizon statistically, we have the statistics on marijuana now, but 10 years ago we didn't, 5 years ago we didn't. And why is that? I don't know. But is there a reason that, I mean, it's been around a really long time, and to not have some
like
of the
biblical
statistics, it is not good. It's not good for your lungs to smoke it. I mean, it's not. Any smoke isn't. Campfire's not good for your lungs. You can go down all kinds of different roads that you want to, and what's better, what's not.
But there's other ways to do it other than smoking it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's where my angle is going to be from. And I don't want to repeat what's been said. I haven't directly ingested it, but I've been around plenty secondhand. And
Bill Clinton.
I lived in Colorado for 2 years. I got a lot of secondhand smoke. But I mean, I've got friends that they have COPD and they can't smoke it, but they do edibles, and it is a game changer for them and how they live. It's huge for veterans that are suffering PTSD, that instead of taking handfuls of pills every day to deal with what they've been through, they can take some edibles or smoke some weed, and it gets the demons out of their head for at least a part of their day. And that saves one life,
Yes.
we're talking about 22 suicides a day. If that saves one of those soldiers. Of veterans. Just veterans.
Just veterans.
If that saves one of those 22 lives a day, legalize it, give it out. I don't care. But it's saving lives.
A few years ago, I had listened to a podcast with some, I think there was 2 veterans on there, and one of them, they both had very similar experiences, and one of them used marijuana. One of them did the whole pill thing from the doctors, and it was a very different outcome. And but I want to say this too. I've also spoke with people who have chronic pain, and it doesn't work for some of them. That's just the way it is. It doesn't work for everybody.
Maybe I should try it.
And I think in our heads too, when you think of it, some people, I can't speak for everybody, you're thinking of Cheech and Chong. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Smokiness and all that stuff. You're not thinking of beautiful, strong women like Harmony here, who smokes marijuana every once in a while.
Functions
normally
every day.
For, keeping mentally healthy, whatever. So I think there's such a huge stereotype when it comes to that. And the only thing I'll say on this article, I was surprised that the amount that they're allowing
3
for
ounces.
you to have.
How
That
much?
seems like
How
a
much
lot.
is 3 ounces?
I mean, that was brought to my attention.
Right. I don't know. I mean, it's a good amount.
It's a pretty good amount.
It'll make you happy and relax.
There's no trial period. I mean, that's a, again, never smoked it, but that's a big amount, There's a lot of people.
Yeah, I have
that
no
do.
idea either.
I'm more familiar with my friends that do the gummies, and half a gummy
Yeah,
or a
and-
full gummy. And
And what I will say, Lisa is correct about that, and Matt. There's certain strains that are not effective for everybody. So, and even edibles don't work well. I'm going to throw it out there again. I'm not a fan of edibles. I have found that personally they don't work. So if everybody's curious, because I suppose maybe I'll get some messages soon enough of surprise and holy moly, I smoke it. I smoke it. So that's what works best for me. I have, I have tried a lot of things in my day, and this honestly is what works best. And considering where I've come from, with other drugs and being around them, I will take this any day. I've been through some traumatic things, such as psychosis, going through methamphetamine. So marijuana is a beautiful thing compared to psychosis. I've never heard of anybody. It can at times, you can have some of those effects, but I have never heard of anybody having psychosis from smoking or ingesting marijuana. I'm sure it's out there perhaps, but I'm telling you, methamphetamine, oxycodone, hydrocodone, Klonopin, that'll all take you on a different path.
So speaking of beautiful things, the flower industry for the United States, the prices have now raised because these farmers can make more money growing, obviously, pot and everything else like that in Colorado.
There's a
Oregon,
farm not far from here that
Yeah.
switched from poinsettias
Yes, there is.
to CBD marijuana.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is.
And
So-
yeah.
Then we wonder why things increase with price. So.
Well,
But
and
we
this-
could say that about corn.
Yeah.
We could what they did with ethanol, and that's, I mean, frankly, the science on that doesn't really match up with what they said it's going to do. So that's a revolving door, right? There's always navigating that kind
No,
of
I'm just
thing.
throwing that out there as
Yeah, no, it's not on
FYI.
true.
Effective
Yeah,
advertising.
it's not
FYI.
on true.
I mean, that's my area of expertise.
But
that I
that'll
know of.
balance out,
Yeah.
And
right?
it could go the other way too.
Oh, I
Our
don't
mental
know.
health might be down because these people are smoking it.
Right.
I mean, it would be an
Suicides might be
interesting
down.
study too. Suicide might be down. It might be an
Hard
interesting
narcotic
study to
use.
follow
Yes.
up with.
Yes.
And I like
Yeah.
to mention that other things can come from this, hemp, clothing, paper. There's so much. I don't know of any paper or clothing I can get from OxyContin. So I'm just saying that there's other benefits as well if we just open our minds and our hearts.
Let me give you this comment from somebody. They said, my son uses MJ. He's a recovering meth and heroin addict. He says alcohol triggers his addiction, but marijuana helps keep the addiction demons away. So thanks for the comment.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I would agree. I don't know the scientific studies behind it, but I can't imagine people are getting stoned and driving and killing people. But people are drinking and driving and killing others every day. So if
There's
pot's-
very few, correct.
if pot's illegal, alcohol should be illegal. And I'm not for that. So
And with like all things, when you buy or when you get your prescription pills, what does it say on the bottle? It says, don't operate machinery, be cautious when you're driving. It's the same thing, even with marijuana. I don't want to exclude that. I don't want it to be in the separate, where it's like, oh, you can do this and you can do that. You should always proceed with caution with anything that you're using to treat yourself, especially medicinally. So I want people to look at it like that. It's not a willy-nilly thing. People really need this medicine. We've needed it for years, and I'm glad we're talking about it.
I know one of the points they talked about for Minnesota was that there was no way to test like how much a person that's under the influence of pot while they're driving. There's no way to test compared to the breathalyzer of like
No,
alcohol.
they can.
Theirs now?
There's tests, yeah. I mean, I don't know what that is and if it's in every state, but I have spoke with state troopers that, yeah, they absolutely can test it.
people get pulled over for being under the influence.
Yeah.
Right, but there was no at the time. Well, this was a year ago. Minnesota had no way.
Minnesota might not.
That's what I'm saying. Minnesota
right,
had
but
no way.
Colorado
Minnesota does.
or California that
Yeah.
they use it legally. They might. I don't remember where they were from, but they did say that they can test it. I don't know if it's on the road side that they can test it, but I imagine there's blood. How do you even test that? Urine? I mean,
A piss test.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I said
a
urine.
urine test.
Well, trying to be a
Bagel swab.
little
Bring out
family
the
friendly.
brownies.
COVID.
Swab.
Yeah, the Chinese is a COVID.
Thinking of the hocky subject later.
I think it's anal
A
swabbing,
urine
actually.
test is. Yeah. Let's not go back to that conversation again.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
I know there's a urine test because, we talk about hockey later on, and it's they urine test players quite frequently, especially younger players. So, yeah, at the junior levels anyway. Or they should.
And yeah, it's probably not as easy, I suppose, as it is alcohol with a breathalyzer and things like that. Because it does affect it differently, I guess. But
I think it's pretty quick. I mean, think of back in the day when the Vikings player had the Whizzinator in his carry-on luggage and got busted because it was a fake as urine test.
Yeah.
So, and I think they're pretty
Pretty
quick
quick,
test
sure.
results. Yeah, so.
Sure.
So just why I'm asking questions here. So a person that goes under, like for a job that does a urine test. So if they test positive for drugs in their system, is there some kind of deviation that says pot's okay, but other drugs are not when they get a job?
I feel like that depends on the company. I feel like I've read in the past where and laws and things may change in the future, but I feel like it's the discretion of the business or company that you're working for, and before you get hired or before you are interested, I believe that it's disclosed. All that
If you're just joining us, we got flooded with people, so we're talking about marijuana.
Yeah.
If people are wondering what we're talking about,
it,
yeah, I just got a text. What are you guys talking about right now? I'm like, we're talking about marijuana. So if you're just joining
Hopefully
us,
the whole hour is not on
No.
this, but okay.
no problem.
It'll be a longer
Not
show.
working well, Harmony. Let's keep it rolling here.
Tune in next week.
So just to continue, I think, again, it depends. And one thing that, I'm aware of is that if I'm going to apply for a job, I'm very well aware that they're going most likely to be testing for this stuff. So I've had a great job for a while, so I don't have to worry about this kind of stuff. But I do think of the individuals that are going in, and let's just face it, you go into GNC or some of those places, there is things that you can buy to pass this test. People have been doing it for years. Are they effective? Some are, some aren't. But I think this remains to be seen as far as how that stuff's going to be handled. New York's the 16th state to say, hey, this is okay. How are they going to handle that?
I'm going to
part?
interrupt you again.
Okay.
We are having some Wi-Fi problems if you're watching, but we will post like all the segments and stuff throughout next week. But the Wi-Fi is I'm in the country, and so we do this in the country via satellite. And I don't know, Elon Musk must not be very wise and intelligent because it's his satellite. But anyway, no. But yeah, so thanks for your patience with that when it does black out or whatever. So yeah.
Well, and there are jobs like I would imagine with a CDL, a commercial driver's license, just like alcohol. You can only have a .04, and I believe that they can take a piss test. And if there's an accident and you're a truck driver, one of the first things that's going to happen is you're going to get a urine test to make sure that you don't have anything in your system. Because that's kind of a big violation if you're driving a 80,000-pound truck.
There's a lot of different places that have the different rules and things like Harmony said. I think that what this will do is it's going to probably bring out a lot more science behind it and see. Obviously, the medical use marijuana, they're testing that like crazy and things. I do know people that it's really helped them a lot. And insulin went skyrocketed again. I just saw something about that. Right. And so these drug companies, they've got a market on some of these synthetic things and that to me is sickening. So one of the plus sides of this to me is like, wow, this is going to be a lot less expensive for people with chronic pain.
It's true.
So
tune in next week. We're all taking edibles before the show.
We're all going to Jamaica.
Yeah, driving flash.
Yeah, man.
maybe they have better satellite service in Jamaica. Hey, a lot of people have asked how they can support the work we're doing here at Matt Logan Speaks. Well, you see this hammer that I got in my hand? It's pretty big. All you have to do is hammer the share button. Go ahead and hammer out a comment to us. Go ahead and hammer the like button. Go ahead and hammer the subscription button. Go ahead and hammer the notification bell so that when we have new content up, you're the first to know about it. We really appreciate the comments, shares, likes, because you know what? That's the best way you can support us, because the algorithms on all these fancy computers, that's what they need. We appreciate it.